approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as the regular Township Board meeting minutes dated October 14th, 2024, to accept the treasurer's report as presented, to accept the assessor's report for November 2024, to approve the October 2024 bills, transfer of funds. The bills for this month are October, checks 30458 through 30509, building check 2628 and check 2629, electronic fund transfers, payrolls for township police and fire departments for October 2024, $256,396.73.
That includes the taco.
Yeah.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Yeah.
All right,
It's
motion carried.
54,000 something. It's nice.
County Commissioner, nobody here. Public time.
Karen Pacheco, still Village of Metamora. Yeah, I would appreciate if I could see.
Sorry, there we go.
So the week I moved here, which was about 7.5 years ago, there appeared on the stop sign right by my house, the N-word. Like the worst racial epithet we could use, right? Someone painted it on there, and so I took a picture of that, posted it on Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's my new neighborhood. And Tina from the village, you all know Tina, and I grew up with Tina, actually. And she responded, hey, well, we think it's just kids, we're going to paint over it. And not to be racial or anything, that's a direct quote, but I haven't seen anyone in the neighborhood. Well, a few days before, I actually had seen an African-American person in our neighborhood. So that was really, I thought, dismissive, and I was like, well, we've gone down a few notches here in ability to deal with racial stuff, I guess, in Metamora. But I bring this up because about a week and a half ago, on a Harris Wall sign that was on Flood Road, someone painted the N-word. And obviously, our Vice President, Harris, is, African American. And so that's really, really concerning. And then it got posted on Facebook with, and I'll use his name because he did this publicly, Andrew Fabian praising the graffiti artist. He's the guy who owns the gun shop, right? And so I looked up today how much hate crimes went up during the first Trump presidency. And the FBI said it was 20%. Are we going to have that again? I don't know, but I hope we are all out on the lookout for that kind of thing, because it just has no place in a civilized society. All right, so in your packets this time, I finally spent all the hours putting together what I saw as an event professional, what I saw go wrong again this year, and actually even worse this year, at Metamora Country Days. And it's not just to blame just one entity. This is a systemic problem. I get that this was Chief Davis's first time, and I get that you're willing to learn, and I very much appreciate that, and I hope you see this as a learning opportunity. But this should never be allowed to happen again. And I get that you don't get it, and I know you think I'm crazy, but I know what I'm talking about, and I don't care how many times I have to say that. I laid it out here, and if you get an expert to go through it, they will tell you pretty much what I said. So I hope you go through that. And then the complaint at the back is about, at the last Plan Commission meeting, and I brought this up at the last meeting, the best barn, your relative's barn, which Traci was the chair on the ZBA and approved of, even though you have endless conflicts of interest. It wasn't on the agenda, but then they brought it up and everybody knew it was on the agenda except the public, and that's just really unfair. And again, when you have all these conflicts of interest, you would think that you would want to be as transparent as possible. And now, Traci, you were at that venue, which is not at a site plan approved yet. You were a vendor with your apparel. This was on Facebook as well. It's just mind-blowing how this works.
Any other public time? Fire department.
Good evening.
How you doing?
So the activity report for October of 2024 is we had a total of 25 calls for the month. We had 8 fires, 13 medicals, 4 PIs, 1 meeting, 2 trainings, 2 work details. Only call really to note, the structure fire we had at the White Horse. We still don't have a cause of that fire yet. I don't know if we're gonna get one, but as of now, it's still left undetermined. So it might stay that way. And the only thing that I really have tonight is I would like to get permission to send up to 6 people to the Great Lakes Hot Training that is coming up in June of 2025. I want to get permission now because it fills up fast. And these guys come in from all over the state and they run real life hands-on practical drills for the firefighters, and it's really good training for the people that go to it. So if I could get permission to send up to 6, and that would be up to a cost of $2,850.
I'll make a motion to send 4 to 6 active trained firefighters to attend the Great Lakes Hot Training in June at the cost of no more than $28.50.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carried.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Okay. Police Department.
Good evening. For October of 2024, the Metamora Township Police Department had 280 calls for service. 154 of those were traffic stops, 7 traffic offenses, 7 property damage accidents, 9 Carver steer property damage accidents, 5 personal injury accidents, 10 alarms. We also had 5 juvenile complaints, 3 of which were at Murphy Elementary. We've been spending quite a bit of time there lately. Some of the notable incidents, back at Murphy Elementary on the 8th of October, I was dispatched there for a juvenile complaint. 5th grader brought a 3D printed revolver style pistol and a 3D printed butterfly knife into the school. Eventually the student was turned over to parents, and discipline was handled by the school. The report was forwarded to the Lapeer County Prosecutor's Office, but as a 5th grader, no criminal charges were issued. Another incident that we had was back on the 23rd of October. Officer Irish, while on routine patrol, he attempted to conduct a traffic stop on a vehicle driving 76 miles per hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. When he got behind the vehicle took off at a high rate of speed, passed the vehicle in a passing zone, was driving erratically. The vehicle eventually hit the brakes, went off the road, up an embankment, and stopped against a fence. And 3 occupants bailed out. With the assistance of the Clear County Sheriff's Office, the Mission State Police K-9 Unit, your very own Metamora Township Police Drone Unit, 2 of the 3 occupants were located, and all 3 of them were juveniles, unlicensed, and not supposed to be driving that vehicle. Nobody was injured or anything like that. The suspects were turned over to parents or guardians, and the case has been turned over to the prosecutor's office for criminal charges. Just something to note, we've been doing some extra patrol, some traffic enforcement in the village, also on Baldwin Road, due to the increased number of complaints. As you can see, the traffic stops are out, and there's definitely been some enforcement. A reminder, the Wassailing, sorry, not trying to mess
Yeah,
that
the
up.
waste sailing.
Celebration parade is on Sunday, December 1st at 2 p.m. We'll be doing the traffic control. Hopefully we can do a better job than more days. Training, we're still working on our CJIS training, getting that wrapped up so everybody's compliant. Our Police One Academy training, the online that we have been working on this month, we're doing a constitutional law, which is an hour-long course, and also a basic first aid course, which is 2 hours. And I think I touched on this last time, but December 1st, we're doing our CPR recert, standardized field sobriety test refresher before we do our traffic control. The only other things I have is a request. We received a grant from the Fort County Community Foundation again, in the amount of $850, requesting permission to purchase a Canon EOS R50 mirrorless camera, along with a Pelican case.
in the amount of $850 that would be reimbursed by the grant.
Support.
Thank you. The next thing I'm gonna ask,
All in
sorry,
favor?
sorry,
Aye.
getting heavy in here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Great.
The next thing I have is I'd like to request permission to send Officer James Irish to the at-scene traffic crash investigation school at Oakland Community College. That class is an 80-hour class, so it's 2 weeks. It starts on January 27th through February 7th. It's a very intensive 2-week class. It's the first of 3 to get to the reconstructionist, with the hopes he's gonna take over my position with the team eventually, once we get through all the training. That cost is $1,000, so we're looking for permission for that.
All right, I'll make the motion to send James Irish to the at-scene traffic crash investigation, at a cost of $1,000.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Right, and the very last thing I have is I would like to request permission to hire Tyler Lipka as a reserve officer. It's a volunteer position. He's been doing several ride-alongs. He's 21. He's very interested in law enforcement. He's a really good kid.
Is it the son of Tim?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
It is.
I'll make a motion to hire Tyler Lipka as a reserve officer.
I'd like to second.
Yeah, it's good. Good guy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Appreciate it.
Township business, I guess. There's none.
No.
Township board discussion?
I'm just gonna talk about the
How things go, Sal?
election.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good turnout. We had 3,203 people come in and vote during early voting, AV voting, and in person. So overall, with all those 3 is 78%.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty good. Walk-in, I mean, like the day of election was low because of the early voting. We did really good there, but that was 23%. Bob over there, he's up in the corner. He's one of my workers.
Oh, yeah.
He was here last week for early voting and on election day, so he's worked this past election cycle. And
78% sounds amazing.
That's a, yeah,
I don't know what.
pretty good.
I think that was close to in 2020, but we just had a lot of the walk-ins, you know, on
Yeah.
election day. But the early voting, the people are finally understanding that it's a good thing and
Yeah, because things come up. I
Right,
mean,
yeah, right. You'd think you can make it on election day, but you know, something comes up. So we had 1,259 people actually come through
That's really good.
for those 9 days, so that was really good. So that's all I have. I just-
Good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of extra work
Yeah.
for your whole team.
Yeah.
Yes.
A motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was quick.
It was off, and then I'm like, we're like, you know,
Yeah, we are good. Honest.
Tracy, do you have any availability during, Sure.
my Bob, thank you. Okay.
See you, Greg.
Bye, Greg.
Greg, when does your position take over? When is that in? Just January 1st, okay.
There it is.
Oh, there's a commission.
Yeah.
Prior to, or,
Yeah.
that'd be interesting.
See you Wednesday.
It's one day at
Bye, Scott.
See you guys. Have a nice Scott. Take care. See you. See you.
Careful
Oh,
driving
yeah,
home.
I read that.
You're moving.
This Zoom thing is starting to take hold. When you don't have to go in person.
Well, I Scott's one person.
Yeah. For that one, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there's like an hour and a half and one day.
I've gone a couple of conferences at Frank Group. That's pretty good. Yeah,
MTA has.
yeah, yeah.